Good evening, everybody. That leads quite nicely, actually, into this slide. For those that don't know, a little bit on Claude Harmon himself, Claude Harmon the third. He is the third generation of elite golf coaching. His grandfather won the Masters in 1948. On to Butch Harmon. Many know how well he did with sort of his time with Tiger Woods in the 90s, early 2000s, and then Claude himself, who's having a very, very good coaching career, been coaching tour players and elite amateurs for the last 20, 25 years. He's currently working with Dustin Johnson and Cam Smith, who most people know on Live. He's got 8 majors under his belt through Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, and Ernie Els. So a family with a great coaching legacy. And he really, really wants to carry this on. And he wants to do that through Robinswood as well as his place in Dubai. So we're very, very lucky to have this opportunity to deliver this here in at KIS International School with the elite program as well. Moving on a little bit. About the academy itself, we basically have everything that we need for students to thrive and students to develop. We like to use technology to form a base of what we decide to do with the students from a technical and a physical standpoint. We don't like to guess. We use TrackMan. We use KIS for 3D. We use Swing Catalyst to understand the forces. We obviously use video analysis as well. So we bring this all together to make sure that we make the right choices for these students, and making the right choices at this age is really, really important. If the choices are incorrect and not what that student wants, they cannot quite achieve the goals that they may be set. So we don't like to guess. We like to try and get things right and build a program tailored to each student. They will work in groups a lot. We'll go into the program a little bit more later. But each student does have their individual goals, their individual targets set within a group environment. The coaches themselves, we are there to help them with their technique and stuff, but we're also there as people to help them through this journey, because they have to study, they have to rest, they have to get the balance right, and we're here to help them navigate that. We're very lucky with the facility as well. Rainwood have invested so well in the practice facilities, the golf course. We have everything at our disposal, and as I say, everything for a student to thrive and hit the targets that they want for their golf. Move on slightly. This is my team. It's actually grown this week. There's myself. Anthony introduced me earlier. We have Coach Park, one of the teaching professionals, and Tom Evans, who is our golf fitness professional. We find that the physical and fitness part of this is so important during these teenage years where most of our golfers lie. And we have just added another coach to our team this week, as I say, in Billy Fife. He's a guy from Scotland who has joined us this week. So he will be involved in the elite program and other programs in the school quite heavily next year. A little bit about what happens over the week. We're very lucky that we can coach on the golf course. A lot of programs, sometimes limited to indoor facilities, limited to driving ranges, and don't actually have the opportunity for the golf coaches to get out on the golf course and help them play golf, understand situations, understand the environments, ever-changing environments, understand different lies. So we're very, very lucky that we have the course accessible to us on a weekly basis with the coaches. As I mentioned a moment ago, fitness is so important. The everyone in the female game and the male game, they're getting faster, they're getting stronger. The ball is going further. If you don't get to a certain fitness level nowadays, you are seriously behind in giving up a lot. So it's very, very important that we hit speed targets, power targets, so these players can achieve what they want when they get to college, if college is their goal, and on the pro tour after that, if someone want to push their speed. Speed is an imperative attribute that you will need if you're going to succeed at high-level college and tour. So this is huge for us, and also injury prevention. We often do see teenagers pick up little injuries because bodies aren't quite working how they should do. So we need to keep the car on the road. We need to keep the car on the road. Mentioned this briefly earlier that we don't like to guess. We like to understand exactly how that person moves, what they do, through TrackMan, through 3D, through force plates, through video, and we make an educated decision on how we improve their game. Again, mentioned earlier, we have an unbelievable facility here. The grass is perfect. We have Pro V1s on the range. An amazing short game facility with different variations, rough, different bunkers, different lies. Short game, par 3 course at the students' disposal. We really do have everything that we need. So yeah, that kind of covers sort of who we are and what we have going on here. I will speak a little bit more in sort of the details of a week by week, what happens in the elite program a little bit later on. Brendan's going to take over, I believe now, Anthony, with a little bit about the college stuff.
So I have
Thanks very much, Joe.
Wait, so I have, just before we start with Brendan, I have one question from Kun Lo. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. And since it's right on time with you, Joe, it says that since you're the director of instruction at CH3, like, how do I phrase that? How do you manage? The question is exactly what you believe in teaching students.
Say that again, sorry.
What do you believe as teaching students? I think the question is like, what's your philosophy, your teaching philosophy?
Okay. The Harmons and those, we don't follow any coaching systems. We do what's necessary to make that player better. So, it's not one size fits all. There's so many ways to swing the golf club. We understand how tall that junior is, how strong they are, how mobile they are, what their favoured ball flights are. So again, we test them, we figure out what is best for them before we make a decision. So I guess the philosophy is there's no huge philosophy from a technical point of view. We believe that there's multiple ways to swing the golf club. But we are very, very, very big on juniors learning how to play the game on the golf course, understanding environments, understanding situations. A golf swing's only going to get you so far. You need to be a full, well-rounded golfer if we're going to achieve at a higher level.
Okay, I think Kun Lao, that's answering your question. So now up to Mr. Brendan, that is our partner from ProDream USA. So up to you, Brendan.
Thanks very much, Joe. Thank you very much for that as well. Pleasure to be here. I'm calling in from Glasgow, Scotland. The home of golf is just an hour or so away from here, and it's an absolute pleasure to join you over at the other side of the world. I work with a company called ProDream USA, and I'm a former college golfer myself. About 25 years ago, I was looking at all the options available to me to continue participating in golf. My family were very keen on me going to university, and it was very much the the only possible route for me to continue to do both at the time was to apply to play golf on a golf scholarship at university in America, which I did. I now run the company Pro Dream. We've got a great team here, all of whom are golfers. Our role is very much to assist the next generation of junior golfers. We've got golfers from all over the world, and our role is to work with them, to support them, and to look to find them a suitable place for them to play college golf in the USA. And so a little bit about our team. The company was founded by a gentleman called Lon Kelly, who played golf at the highest level in the amateur game. He was a Walker Cup winner, was an Eisenhower Trophy winner. Myself and a colleague Alyssa, who's our client support manager, is a former client, as is Ellen, Ellie, and Carl, all former clients, all golfers, all of whom are here to support the players that we work with. We only work with golf. We don't take on players in other sports per se. Everyone that we work with is looking to play college golf in the United States, and they'll be dealing solely with members of staff who have first-hand golf experience as well. So US college golf, to try and sum it up as simply as I possibly can, US college golf is going to America to play golf for a university golf team. Where it's different is universities in America, sport is just a huge part of their culture. It's a huge part of their life. It's an industry worth billions and billions of dollars. College sport in America is televised globally. So it's very different from playing golf in a university in another country. Incredibly, it's still, 25 years ago, I was looking at this, and it was the only place you could really do that. Incredibly, it's still the same. It is really the only place globally where you can study full-time at degree level and play the highest level of amateur competition. And that's the whole purpose behind it. It's that opportunity to really push your golf, to ascertain potentially whether you might be good enough to try and play the game for a living, but without sacrificing your education. It's about getting a degree in your chosen subject as well, and giving yourself the chance to compete against some of the best amateur golfers from all over the world. And again, if you just look on tour these days, almost everyone you see that plays tour golf has a background that originated from college golf. And we've just taken a snapshot of a few of them. Obviously, everyone knows Tiger Woods. He went to Stanford University. You've got Leona Maguire, the Irish lady there, who went to Duke University. Matt Fitzpatrick, Northwestern. Annika Sorenstam went to Arizona. John Rahm, Arizona State. Rose Zhang, Stanford, and Colin Morikawa was at Cal. Again, if you look through the vast majority of tour players and tour winners on all the main tours, not just the PGA Tour, a lot of them have backgrounds where they played college golf first. So a couple of things just want to kind of cover up briefly here. I'm not going to kind of take too long on this, but I think one of the things that has to provide value to this conversation would be to try and explain some of the key differences between what people think they know and what the reality is. A place like Robinswood, obviously, you've got a great opportunity to go there to join the school program, join the World Class Golf Academy there, and that's open to people who want to go and improve and to develop their game. College golf in America is an extension to that, but it's a little bit different. It's not a case of I want to go to Stanford University and join their golf team. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to go there. To go to one of these teams, you have to be picked. You have to be selected. So a big part of a college golf coach's role is selecting a team. And they're there to manage that team. They're not necessarily there to coach you the same way that Joe and his staff coach and develop players at Robinswood to get them ready for this next step. The role of a coach in American university is to manage a team, just to pick players, just to scour the globe to get the best players they possibly can to play for their team. It's about what you as a player can do for their golf team. as opposed necessarily to what they can do for you. It's almost more like a Premier League soccer manager picking a new striker, and they're looking for a striker who's going to score goals for them. They're not picking the striker because the striker wants to play for them. It's about what that striker can do for the team. So the role of a coach in America, they're there to put together a culture, to bring good players together, to give them an environment for success. But ultimately, their job is to have a successful team, and they're looking to us to help them to find players that can contribute towards that. So again, an instructor, a coach like Joe is there to obviously assist in your continued development as a player. The role of a coach in American university, like I said, is more like a manager. They're there to manage the players. They don't have to be PGA qualified. So a lot of them are. Some of them are. Some of them aren't. Some of them former players. One of the prerequisites though of being a college coach is that they have to have a master's degree. Their primary responsibility to you is they have to, yes, kind of give you everything you need to develop your golf, but more importantly, they need to make sure that you get everything that you need to pass your degree. So they have to be able to empathise with that, and they have to be degree and master's degree qualified. So their job is to manage the players, design the tournament schedule, recruit players that are going to play for the team, manage relationships between the players and the professors to ensure that they're getting everything that they need to catch up with class time when they're on the road playing tournaments, raise funds for the golf team, work out relationships with facility owners, golf club owners, all of that side of things. It's not a typical their approach to spend time with you on the range. So again, another question that we're often asked is what a coach looks for. Again, as I touched on already, it's what they're looking for, what you can bring to them. They're looking for players who ultimately are good enough to help their team compete against other universities. Their job security, their bonus, their salary is based on their ability to have a winning team, to have a successful team that represents a university. So the ultimate thing that they're looking for when they're considering a player is, are you good enough? Are you going to help us? Are you going to be good enough to replace one of the players who's graduated? That's what they're looking for effectively. And there's different ways that they'll measure that, and every coach will look at it slightly differently. So things that coaches will look for, your scoring average, I would say your scoring average in competition golf, not necessarily bounce games or playing at your home club, but the proper competitive scoring average. They're looking to compare your results against other players that they're considering. They're also looking to compare your results against the results of successful college players when they were junior golfers, to give them a flavour of what your trajectory might be and who you can be compared against. They're looking at your grades. You need to be eligible to get into the universities. So it's not just about the golf. The grades is important as well. And they'll look at technical aspects of your game, your swing speed, your stats. Again, and that's where working with the guys at CH3, I think, is really, really important. Had a lot of successful players that we've worked with through CH3 at the Ellis Club in Dubai, and they've been a huge help, a huge support in terms of giving the college coaches in America the whole picture of the players to help them to determine the right fit for college and university teams in the States. In terms of scholarships, again, scholarships is a question that we're asked about fairly frequently. It's right to say nowadays that if you're a sought-after junior golfer, you can earn not a place on a golf team, but you can also earn a scholarship to cover a lot of, in some cases, all of the costs. It's not true to say, though, that every junior golfer gets a full scholarship. Very much not the case. But full scholarships are available. A coach will award a scholarship based on the player's ability and based on the evaluation of them, how they would set in the team. Again, to use football analogy, a soccer analogy, the better players earn the most money, have the biggest transfer fees, and it's very similar here. If you're seen as a player who's going to be one of the best players on the team, you're going to get a high scholarship, maybe full scholarship. If you're seen as somebody who is going to be a lesser part of the team to start with, you've started off on a small scholarship, and hopefully that will increase with time. Scholarships are awarded based on merit. They're also based on academic award as well. In an ideal world, a golf coach will look to award a golfer golf scholarship from their budget. If your grades are strong, then you can also qualify for additional academic scholarship as well. And the scholarship can cover everything from your tuition fees, your accommodation, all your meals, your books, and all of the golf costs as well. So a little bit about us. Again, we've been doing this a long time. We work very closely with the players that we have and their families. And what we're looking to find is the right fit for each individual. And in our experience, the right fit for each individual is a golf team where they're good enough to play, so the right level for their golf, the right level for them as a student. Every student's different and has different academic strengths. So it's about finding them the right environment for that. And, you know, every family is different in terms of their financial capabilities. So working within that to get an offer that's financially viable. So our service is very much bespoke. It's tailored to the needs of each individual. But what we're looking for is the same, and trying to find the best fit for them. And our support kind of starts now. Most of the players we work with start with us kind of age 13, 14, and we support them all the way through until placement, onboarding, and then even all the way through until graduate 4 years later. Some successful players we've worked with. Lottie's playing the US Women's Open this week. She was the world number one amateur. And we started working with her at age 14. She won the Augusta National Women's Amateur and we placed her at Florida State. And she's now ranked in the top 5 in the world's professional ranks. Richard Mansell last year got his first win on the DP World Tour. And again, started with us age 15. Quite a misnomer, you know, a lot of people assume that to be a professional, you need to play at a big Division 1 university. Richard went to a relatively small Division 2 university, but it was the right level for him. He had good people around him, he was supported, he worked hard, and he did very, very well. And he's now playing on tour. And another fantastic example, Dan Bradbury, another Leeds United supporter, Joe. Dan, again from England, started with us age 15, went to a Division 2 university. He won, I think, 8 times at Lincoln Memorial University. And to update that, he's now won his third European Tour or DP World Tour title just earlier on this year. So again, for the former clients that we've worked with, are doing really well. So kind of stage one is something like this. You know, we look to kind of do a little bit of kind of fact finding. The second stage, if anyone wants to kind of follow on from this, is tends to be kind of introducing you to kind of you as coaches, etc. Promoting the players, finding your certain footage, and that, you know, this would be a little bit different working with the school. You know, you would start working with the school to identify the players and work with them around everything they need to be doing academically, and build a profile for them, and then start to use that stage 2 to promote them to colleges and universities. But for anyone who's interested in this, I think there's a slide missing here, so it's soon there. But for anyone who is interested in this, you kind of look at this spoke at what a timeline would look like based on your age, stage in the game, and then starting from there. Yeah, we'll just skip through this one just now. So yeah, very, very fortunate to be speaking to you today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We're very much looking forward to working closely with the school, with CH3 Academy as well, as we've done over the years. And yeah, if there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. If not, for anyone who wants to set up a one-to-one conversation, we can be doing that at some point in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brandon, and thank you for joining from so far. It's 2 p.m. for you, and it's 8 p.m. for us. I really appreciate you joining today. So we will be speaking. So Brandon is invited also because he will be part of this whole story of the Elite Plus program for our older students. So I see in the chat that we have some KIS families and potentially new KIS families. So we already proposed the elite golf program, and Joe is working with KIS students already. And the elite plus program is something that is going beyond the elite that we have today. The idea, before I introduce Mr. Brett, our KISPIRE program director, is just to give you an idea of the golf comes first and education is built around it. And Mr. Brett will be the best to talk about that. So up to you, Mr. Brett. Let me unmute you maybe. Oh,
Thank you, Anthony. I'm here.
Yeah, let's go.
So as many as Joe and Brendan talked about before, as our students set their target and their sights on their golf dreams, KISPIRE steps in along with KIS International School to provide a pathway, an academic pathway that matches their ultimate dreams. So what you're going to see here is we focus on making sure our kids have access to NCAA approved courses to facilitate the college dreams that Brendan's talking about. We also follow a learning coach model. So we would allow our students to be grouped together in small groups, usually around 4 students, where they have a learning coach that would help guide them through an individualized IB experience. As you're going to see in the coming slides, in order to achieve all of the coaching, the targets, the technologies, and to use all of that stuff, their school day needs to be compressed. And so KISPIRE steps in with KIS International School to provide that compressed school day. Okay. So we do a compressed school day through a personalized or a bespoke program for each kid. Each kid has a different set of desires and needs for their current level, as well as what they want for the next level. So we just work with each family to establish what that pathway looks like for them. Okay. KIS is a IB school. And so we seek to make sure our kids are on that pathway and on that journey to an IB diploma and a KIS diploma, which would be recognized in throughout the world. Okay. And then the last thing that we get to do with us is we get to ensure that our students still enjoy a social life with each other. They're still a member of our school at Rainwood Park. They are not just golfers all day, that they are still children and young adults who need to be able to be around each other and to have friendships and to experience academic rigor, as well as the opportunity to have friends and to have a social life, whether that be through the school and through our boarding school programs. So that, as we kind of been talking about tonight, a lot of our students may be entering or looking into university or college in the U.S., particularly for it's the amount of programs available and the amount of opportunities available there. So we do ensure that our program aligns with the NCAA eligibility requirements, and that means our students have access to high-level classes, as well as access to some remedial areas where they may need help in order to achieve the grades that they need to receive the scholarships that they're seeking. So this is a quick timetable. Me and Joe can work on this together with you guys. So this is a rough idea of how our students would experience a school day and a school week. They would be looking at coming into school with our normal KIS Rainwood Park students. This is around 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, where their school day would begin. And because we compress essentially the 8 or so kind of learning objectives of the IB into essentially like a 4 or 5 hour kind of day instead of a 6 or 7 hour day, those students do experience a much higher amount of rigor required for them to study and for them to be on top of their studies throughout the week. So they're paired with a learning coach to ensure that their motivation stays high, to ensure that they are meeting their learning targets daily and weekly. We also have availability in the timetable for students to become the athletes that they want, to participate in the tournaments that they're seeking. So we've built in time for them to be able to have some modifications to their schedule and allow them to participate in tournaments around the world, around Thailand, and to actually increase the amount of practice time available to them, as well as maybe if they need some additional study time, that's available on the Fridays. Joe might want to talk about some of that stuff that happens after lunch, because then I would, after they finish with their learning program, they go over to Joe in the afternoon after lunch, and they would work on that stuff.
Yeah, you did pretty well there, Brett. That was pretty good. Yeah, so the Standard Elite program, which we've run now for 2 years, was they'd do a full day of school, finish at 3. They'd be coached in some shape or form till 6. So now we've opened up the opportunity for them to do golf from 1 till 6 instead. Areas that we cover, they will have individual instruction where they will be worked. They will work one-on-one with their allocated coach. There'll be some group technical sessions. We'll do a lot of performance and game-based practice. As I said, we get out on the golf course. So the Elite Plus will get out on the golf course at least 1 or 2 extra times in the week. So it basically, as you say, just increases the number of hours that they can be exposed to golf and train and hone their skills.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of questions about like how the study goes and those kind of things. We just wanted to make sure that we're following what the school targets are, and that we're in line with the overall eligibility needs that they have for their next level. So just like with Brennan, a one-on-one conversation with Miss Julie or myself anytime about your personal journey or your personal situation, and we'd be able to draw out an exact roadmap for you guys. Okay.
Thank you, Brett. And actually, so I will jump in there. So there is a question for Joe again, but about what Mr. Brett just mentioned is like, yeah, exactly. It's a very personalized pathway. So we have a program that is called Elite Plus, where you will see you have a package of hours of coaching, etc. But you need to keep in mind that it's really like personalized to the students, and that Mr. Brett and his team at KISPIRE and at KIS overall are here to help the students integrate at KIS and have the best learning experience while they are taking their golf to the next level. So the questions for Joe is it's all coming to you, Joe. How involved are you in the coaching?
Yeah, I'm heavily involved. I think I've been ever present most of the year this year. That will be very much the same next year. So I'm heavily involved. Both, some of the individuals work with me. I do a lot of the group stuff. I'm ever present on the on course as well. So yes, I'm heavily involved in the coaching as well. Not just overseeing the program.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So yeah, it's still on you, Joe. The details about the package.
Is this a question, Anthony? Sorry, or is this?
Oh yeah, sorry. No. You can keep on going on the package itself, but
Okay.
I think you already touched on that. But that's pretty much a summary.
Yeah, so we have 3 and 4 day options, both for the Elite and the Elite Plus. So that can take up to 20 hours of training, coaching per week, if they choose to do 4 days, which will be the heaviest version. As you mentioned, we've introduced tournaments a lot more tournament opportunities this year. We looked at what the opportunities the borders were having to actually get out and play golf, and we saw that as a limitation. So we wanted to kind of step in and give them the opportunity to play more tournaments at weekends. So us as an academy and as coaches will now organise regular trips to generally local tournaments within Thailand. We will target WAGA and junior scoreboard-based tournaments because these are the ones that universities will look at. They can get their rankings up, so on and so forth. So we're aiming for around 10 to 12 of these events per year, on top of the regular ISGT schedule that is they compete during school time. So that kind of covers it all, really, based on what we said before, what we say now.
Oh, yeah, that's it actually for Joe. We will move on to Rainwood Park. So, thank you, Joe, and you can keep asking questions on the private chat if you're a little bit shy. And ask your question, and we will answer at the end. Just to finish on the golf side, we have a few things coming up in terms of golf, like a par 3 challenge. Maybe in partnership between Robinswood and KIS International School Rainwood Park. So the par 3 is maybe not for the elite plus golfer, but if you have a younger sibling that like golf, it's also a very good occasion. So let's move on to KIS. We have a little video to give you an idea of the environment, the atmosphere at KIS. Oh, this is Joe that is very happy actually. I will I will post the video here because I can see that it's very laggy, but I will make sure because the video is a bit long. I will make sure I will send it in the email, but makes me very happy to see Joe so happy after this putting.
I've always been a good putter.
Okay, now up to our new head of school at KS Rainwood Park, Miss Julie Lawton, and she will be speaking about like a very brief summary about KS International School.
Yes, I'm Julie Lawson. I'm the head of school here at KIS International School, Rainwood Park. Happy to be here. As beautiful as the Rainwood Park facilities are, we can match that at KIS International School, Rainwood Park, definitely. The world-class facilities we have here that have these specialised areas, and you sort of got a glimpse of that on the video, of the sports hall, the science labs, the swimming pool. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And it's what happens within that community, within that facility, that's the secret sauce, I think. I think somebody mentioned earlier about the social side of things that are still important. KIS Rainbow Park has a fantastic caring and diverse community. And that community is made up, of course, of the students, the parents, the staff and the faculty. We have the boarding house. We have, of course, partners, with the golf being one of the partners, and then we're in a lovely local community. So that community is very, very special. Having the boarding option as well as the day option obviously expands the reach of this program and our educational programs as well. So we have many students who do board weekly or board termly. And then we have students that come in daily. So it is open to whatever people are wanting there. The faculty we have, we're very proud of. We have faculty from all over the world. And we have, I would say, high quality teachers who really want to be at a place that is still growing and developing, but has fantastic foundations, but has very high aspirations. So we are attracting those teachers that want to be part of something that's very special, I would say. And we're not alone. So we have the support of our sister school, KIS Bangkok, which helps us in our development, and we have our partner to work with education there. But not only KIS Bangkok, of course, we're part of the International Baccalaureate. As has been mentioned, we are a PYP, MYP, DP authorized school, which we're very proud of. And we're part of a wide international community as well, where we have this mutual partnership with many organizations there, which really does strengthen us. And something that I'm looking forward to seeing next year is the opportunities to meet the high level sporting legends that come to the school, which is very exciting. Organized through the school at key times during the year. And this is just sort of an extra special thing that gives students that extra view of the world, and they get to speak to people that have been successful in their careers. So all of that makes a part of KIS Rainwood Park.
All right, thank you, Julie. That's a very good description of KIS Rainwood Park. Thank you so much. So that's the end actually of our webinar. So we have one question for Brett this time before we finish. So you can keep asking if you want. Let me check if I have more questions. I will ask the question first. Mr. Brett, you talk about a compressed learning, education. Can you say more about how they learn? So basically, how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that in the same way that Joe described how we coach them through the golf, we would use a very similar process in how we teach. We're going to use a combination of in-person personalized teaching, so a smaller group that allows that teacher to have a lot of access to the kid, a lot of personal guidance, and then we would use a combination with technology. So the same way that in the golf program they're using the TrackMan, we would use some combination of KIS Rainwood Park IB courses along with an online possibility for each kid, an online program or courses that would keep them NCAA eligible. So so to keep it simple, a combination of small group with a personalized learning coach and some online courses to help supplement areas where they either need extra or they need possibly help or they have a personal interest in.
Okay, thank you.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's clear. Thank you so much, Brett. And the last question then for Brendan is, have you ever had questions, students from Thailand? Oh, you're on mute, Brendan.
Hi, that's a great question. We actually had a player from Thailand that studied in Scotland and then went back to Thailand. We have students presently in China, in Vietnam, in Australia, in the UAE, and all over Europe. The process is very much the same for each student, irrespective of where they are. We will be out, I would imagine, in Bangkok at least once, maybe twice a year to see players in person. However, the advice that we can give a lot of it would be in meetings like this, and it's tailored to each individual, irrespective of where they are based globally.
Okay, that's clear. I think that was the last question, and then thank you. So thank you for the people that joined. I see KIS name, so thank you for joining. For the new families, we will be reaching out also by email very briefly, our admissions team, and follow up if you have any more questions. We are always happy to speak with you. And before we close this webinar, thank you, Brandon, very much for joining. We contacted him very last minute because we just launched the program and he jumped in. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Joe, Julie. And I wish to all of you an excellent weekend because it's Friday night. So enjoy your Friday night and enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.